Over the years, I've built up a bit of a collection of railway memorabilia. For most of it, I have a pretty good idea of what it is and where it came from. Today's item is something of a mystery to me. It's this. I think you'd call it a medallion, or maybe it's just a coin or a token, I don't know. I'm just going to keep referring to it as a medallion because I'm a wild and crazy guy who doesn't play by the rules. Anyway, this is it. It was made in 1989, evidently to commemorate the 150th anniversary of the Eastern Counties Railway. It depicts an early Eastern Counties Railway locomotive. Possibly of the Berry bar frame type, but I can't really tell, and to be honest, I'm not much of an expert in early Eastern Counties Railway locomotives. On the back we have what is unmistakably a Class 313 with a caption saying North London Lines 1989 into the future. I'm on much firmer ground there because, as it happens, I used to use the North London Line very regularly when it was running with these trains. Let me tell you how I got this thing. Back in the day, and by the day I mean the 90s and earlier, British Rail used to operate something called Collector's Corner. This was basically a warehouse in Euston where they sold all their old junk. Nothing quite so cool as a locomotive, but just about anything else. Uniforms, cutlery, crockery, books, pamphlets, equipment, and leftover promotional stuff like this. The 90s were a pretty great time to go there because privatisation was happening and suddenly some pretty primo stuff was ending up there. I regret that I didn't have enough money to buy a name board from my local station that I saw in there. The shop moved to York in 1998 and I understand it has since closed down. Sic transit gloria mundi, etc. In the intervening years, I completely forgot about this. A few weeks back, my dad mentioned that he'd found a medallion that said Eastern Counties Railway. I assumed he meant like a proper antique, but I didn't own any such thing. And while my dad and my brother are both train fans, neither of them are really into the Eastern Counties Railway. It was when I was actually shown the medallion that I recognised it, and now I have it again. I looked it up online. It turns out the National Railway Museum also has one in their collection, and they said it was from a North London Line gala day. Network South East, who operated the North London Line at the time, were very keen on promotional events such as this. Improving the image of the London commuter lines was basically their mission. I vividly remember visiting a networker day at Waterloo myself when I was very small. Here's the problem. I can't find anything else about this particular event. None of my books mention any such event, and I haven't been able to find anything online. The reason I'm curious is because this commemorates both the North London Line and the Eastern Counties Railway, which on the face of it seems contradictory. I'm going to lay some history down on you now. The North London Line is now partly the Mildmay Line, partly the Windrush Line, some bits are now the Elizabeth Line, some bits are now the Docklands Light Railway, and some bits are now closed altogether. It used to run from Richmond round London to the now abandoned North Woolwich. The North London Line was built by the North London Railway, which was formerly known as the Eastern West India Docks and Birmingham Junction Railway for reasons too complicated to explain here. It ran from Richmond in West London to Poplar in East London. The eastern section was closed to passengers in 1944. In 1979, the old eastern section was replaced with a new one. The line from Camden Road to North Woolwich received the Crosstown Link Line service, which was added to the North London Line in an attempt to revitalise some of the underserved destinations in East London. In 1985, the section from Stratford to North Woolwich was electrified, and trains could run all the way to Richmond. Now, that line from Stratford to North Woolwich was originally built by a company known as the Eastern Counties and Thames Junction Railway. The first section was built from Stratford to Bow Creek in 1845. A year later, another section opened from Bow Creek to North Woolwich where it could connect with the ferry. Here's the abandoned railway ferry pier, which of course has since been replaced by the free ferry. In 1847, the Eastern Counties and Thames Junction Railway was taken over by the Eastern Counties Railway. The Eastern Counties Railway had opened the line from Liverpool Street through Stratford in 1839, and I suspect that the backers of the EC and TJR always intended for them to take over. It was quite a common way of doing things in the Victorian era. The main line company doesn't want to build a line to where you want to go, so you build it for them, possibly with their assistance, and then you sell up. So basically I think this is the origin of our coin. I think it was either from Stratford or somewhere along the line to North Woolwich. My money would be either on Stratford itself, where there was a massive locomotive depot at the time, or North Woolwich, which was a relatively quiet station. In fact, at that time the original station building had been turned into a museum. There are probably many magazines and newsletters and probably some obscure forums that could tell me for sure where this medallion came from. There may well be people watching this who were there, yelling at the screen that I'm completely wrong. But I just like a little bit of detective work. Speculation is fun. The history of the line to North Woolwich had a few twists and turns along the way. In 1855, part of the route was diverted due to the construction of the Royal Victoria Dock. The old line became the freight-only Silvertown Tramway, serving the many industries along the route. And you can still see a few bits of that old track to the south of the dock if you know where to look. In 1878, the line had to be rerouted again for the Royal Albert Dock, this time into the Connaught Tunnel that ran under the dock. North Woolwich Station closed in 2006. It was replaced by the Docklands Light Railway Station at King George V. The line from Custom House through the Connaught Tunnel and through Silvertown and North Woolwich was taken over by the Elizabeth Line, which opened in 2022. This left the little section that had once served North Woolwich Station cut off. If you look on Google Earth, you can very clearly see the old route. You can even see the old turntable well at the station. So, at the end of all that, we have solved nothing. We have a rough idea of where the coin might have originated, but, as any rail enthusiast will tell you, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. I do hope you enjoyed today's video. If so, please do leave a like and consider subscribing for more. And if you have a better idea about where this medallion came from, then please feel free to let me know in the comments section. I would like as ever to thank my donors on Ko-fi, on Patreon, and here on YouTube for your generous support. You are the process to my elimination. And I will see you all again very soon. Cheerio.